Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Nighttime Mics. I'm Mike, and as always, I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Sarah. How's it going tonight, Sarah?
It's going great, Mike. I'm really happy to be here. The weather has been a bit gloomy lately, but sitting here in the studio with these warm lights always cheers me up. How about you? How's your week been so far?
Oh, you know me. I can't complain. I've been busy trying to figure out how to fix my old coffee machine. It's been acting up for days, and I'm starting to realize how much I depend on that morning caffeine hit. But other than that, everything is smooth sailing.
Coffee is definitely a must. Anyway, I'm really excited about our topic today. We're going to talk about something we all do every single day, sometimes without even thinking about it. We're talking about giving opinions.
Oh man, that is a big one. I feel like I have an opinion on almost everything, whether it's what movie to watch, what the best pizza topping is, or even how to fold laundry. I usually have something to say. But giving an opinion isn't always as easy as it sounds, right?
Exactly. Especially when you're learning a language, it can be hard to find the right words to say what you think without sounding too rude or too shy. You want to be clear, but you also want to be polite. It's a bit of a balancing act.
It really is. I think a lot of people struggle with the how and the when. Like, when is it okay to speak up, and how do you back up your points so people actually listen to you?
That's a great point. I think we should start with the basics. Mike, when you want to share your thoughts with a friend, how do you usually start?
Well, if it's a casual conversation, I usually keep it simple. I'll say things like, if you ask me, or in my book. For example, if we're talking about a new movie, I might say, if you ask me, the sequel was way better than the original. It's a nice, easy way to jump into the conversation.
Oh, I like in my book. That's a classic. I usually go with as far as I'm concerned if I want to sound a little more serious, or just a simple I reckon if I'm feeling relaxed. But you're right, it's all about the setting. If I'm at work, I definitely wouldn't say I reckon.
Yeah, imagine telling your boss, I reckon we should change the whole budget. That might not go over too well. At work, I usually try to use phrases like from my perspective or I'm of the opinion that. It sounds a bit more professional, don't you think?
Definitely. It shows that you've thought about it. But what about when you're not 100% sure? Sometimes I have an opinion, but I don't want to sound like I'm the king of the world who knows everything.
Oh, I know what you mean. In those cases, I usually use softeners. I might say, I could be wrong, but, or it seems to me that. It makes it feel more like a suggestion rather than a hard fact. It gives the other person space to disagree without it becoming an argument.
That's so important. I actually had a situation like that yesterday. My friend was showing me her new painting. To be honest, I didn't really get it. It was very abstract. I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I said, I'm not an expert, but I really like the colors you chose.
That's a perfect way to handle it. You gave your opinion without being mean. You pointed out something positive while staying honest. Did she react well?
She did. She actually told me she was struggling with the shapes, so my comment about the colors actually helped her feel better about the parts that were working. It's funny how a little bit of honesty, when phrased correctly, can actually help someone.
Totally. But let's talk about the opposite. What about when you totally disagree with someone? Like if I said pineapple belongs on pizza, what would you say?
No way. Mike, we've talked about this. Pineapple on pizza is a crime.
See? That was a very direct opinion. You didn't even hesitate.
Well, some things are just facts, Mike. But seriously, when I disagree, I try not to just say, you're wrong. That's a conversation killer. Instead, I might say, I see what you mean, but I have a different take on it. Or, I'm not sure I agree with you there.
I have a different take on it is a great phrase. It sounds very mature. It's like saying we just see the world differently rather than your brain is broken.
Right. And it's okay to have different opinions. The world would be so boring if we all thought the same thing. Can you imagine? We'd all be wearing the same clothes and eating the same bland food.
That sounds like a nightmare. Speaking of different opinions, have you ever had to give up on an argument because the other person just wouldn't listen?
Oh, all the time. Sometimes you realize that no matter how many facts you come up with, the other person is just not going to change their mind. In those cases, I usually just agree to disagree. It's a lifesaver.
Agree to disagree is such a useful idiom. It basically means we both think we're right and we're never going to agree, so let's talk about something else before we get angry. I use that with my brother all the time when we talk about sports.
Sports opinions are the most intense. People get so passionate. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because it's part of our identity. When you support a team, you feel like their success is your success. So when someone says your team is bad, it feels like a personal attack. You feel like you have to stand up for your team.
That makes sense. Stand up for. That's a good phrasal verb. It means to defend something or someone. I find myself standing up for my favorite books a lot. If someone says a book is boring, I feel the need to explain why it's actually a masterpiece.
I'm the same way with video games. People often think they're just for kids, and I'm always trying to point out that the storytelling in some games is better than most movies.
Point out is another good one. It's like highlighting a specific detail. It's very useful when you want to back up your opinion with evidence. Like, I think this game is great, and I'd like to point out that it won 5 awards for its writing.
Exactly. If you just say, I like it, and don't say why, your opinion feels a bit thin. People want to know the why behind the what.
True. But sometimes people give their opinions when nobody even asked for them. Have you ever dealt with that? We call it unsolicited advice or unsolicited opinions.
I hate that, especially at the gym. I'll be minding my own business, trying to figure out a new exercise, and someone will walk over and say, you're doing that wrong. You should do it this way.
That is the worst. How do you react? Do you tell them off or just nod and smile?
I'm usually too polite to tell them off. I usually just say, thanks, I'll keep that in mind, and then I go back to doing exactly what I was doing before.
Tell them off. That's quite strong. That means to speak angrily to someone because they did something wrong. I don't think I could do that to a stranger. I'm more of a nod and smile person too. But inside I'm thinking, mind your own business.
I know, right? But sometimes an unsolicited opinion can be helpful. Like if someone tells you that you have spinach in your teeth. You didn't ask for their opinion on your smile, but you're glad they brought it up.
That's a fair point. Brought it up means to mention a subject. In that case, please, everyone, always bring up the spinach in my teeth. I'd much rather be embarrassed for a second than walk around like that all day.
Definitely. So, Sarah, what do you think is the hardest part about giving an opinion in a second language?
That's a deep question. I think it's the fear of sounding too aggressive. In some languages, the way you structure a sentence can sound very direct when translated into English. For example, in some cultures, people might say, "This is bad," quite naturally. But in English, we often pad our opinions to make them softer.
Pad our opinions? What do you mean by that?
Like adding extra words to make the blow less heavy. Instead of, "This is bad," we say, "I'm not sure this is the best direction for us to take." We use more words to say the same thing, but it sounds much kinder.
That's so true. English speakers love to use I think, I feel, and maybe to make things sound less like a command and more like a thought. It's like we're trying to look out for the other person's feelings.
Exactly. Look out for means to protect or take care of. It's a social skill as much as it is a language skill.
I've also noticed that people's opinions change over time. Have you ever turned around on a topic? Like you used to hate something, but now you love it?
Oh, for sure. Mushrooms. When I was a kid, I couldn't stand them. I thought they were slimy and gross. I would turn my nose up at any dish that had them. But now, I love them. I put them in everything.
Turn your nose up at something. That's a great idiom. It means to refuse something because you think it's not good enough. I used to turn my nose up at jazz music. I thought it was just random noise. But then I came around to it after attending a live show.
Came around, another great phrasal verb. It means to change your opinion or finally accept something. It's interesting how our experiences can totally change our perspective. A live show can really change how you feel about music because you see the passion of the musicians.
Totally. It's hard to have a strong opinion about something you haven't really experienced. That's why I try to keep an open mind about most things.
Keeping an open mind is probably the best advice anyone can give. It means being willing to listen to other ideas and perspectives. If you have a closed mind, you never learn anything new.
I totally agree. But wait, Sarah, I have a question for you. What do you do when you're in a group of people and everyone has the same opinion, but you think they're all wrong? Do you go with the flow or do you speak up?
Ooh, that's tough. It's like being the odd one out. Honestly, it depends on the group. If it's with close friends, I'll definitely speak up. I'll say, I know I'm in the minority here, but, and then explain my view. But if it's a group of strangers, I might just keep it to myself. I don't always want to start a fight.
The odd one out. I like that. It describes a person who is different from the others in a group. And go with the flow is another classic. It means to just do what everyone else is doing because it's easier.
Sometimes going with the flow is just about survival. Like if everyone wants to go to a specific restaurant and you're not a fan, but you don't want to be the person who makes everyone change their plans.
I've been that person before. I ended up eating a salad at a steakhouse because I didn't want to ruin the vibe.
Ended up. That happens to the best of us. It means to find yourself in a situation that you didn't necessarily plan.
You know what's another interesting thing about opinions? The internet. Oh boy, the internet is just one giant opinion factory.
Oh, don't even get me started on social media comments. It feels like people go out of their way to be mean sometimes. They state their opinions as if they are absolute laws of the universe.
Go out of their way. That means to put extra effort into doing something. And you're right, some people really do put effort into being difficult. I think the problem is that when you're typing on a screen, you forget there's a real person with feelings on the other side.
Exactly. It's much easier to shoot down someone's idea when you're not looking them in the eye.
Shoot down an idea. That's a very visual phrasal verb. It means to reject or criticize an idea immediately. It's like you're a pilot and you're hitting a target. It's not very helpful for a healthy discussion.
No, it's not. I think a healthy discussion involves looking into what the other person is saying. Even if you don't agree, you can try to understand why they think that way.
Look into, meaning to investigate or research. I think if more people did that, we'd have much better conversations. Instead of just reacting, we'd be reflecting.
Reacting versus reflecting. That sounds like a great title for a book.
Maybe we should look into writing that together, Sarah. We could be the next big authors.
I think I'll stick to the podcast for now. We have enough to deal with here.
Speaking of dealing with things, let's talk about how to ask for an opinion. Sometimes you want to know what someone thinks, but you don't want to put them on the spot.
Put them on the spot. That's when you force someone to make a difficult decision or answer a difficult question right then and there. It can be very stressful.
Right. So instead of saying, tell me right now, is this good or bad? I might say, what are your thoughts on this? Or I'd love to hear your take on this whenever you have a moment.
Those are much gentler. I also like to use, how do you feel about? It feels more personal. It's not just about the facts, it's about the person's emotions and experience.
I like that. How do you feel about the new office layout? Sounds much better than, is the office layout good?
Definitely. It opens the door for a longer answer. You're not just looking for a yes or no. You're looking for a conversation.
And that's really the goal of giving and receiving opinions, isn't it? To connect with other people, to learn something new, to see the world through someone else's eyes for a minute.
That's a beautiful way to sum it up, Mike.
Sum it up. To give a brief summary, I'm on a roll with these phrasal verbs today.
You really are. It's like you brushed up on them before the show.
Brushed up, that means to improve your knowledge of something you used to know but have forgotten. To be honest, I didn't brush up. They're just coming to me naturally.
Coming to you. That's when ideas or words appear in your mind without much effort. That's the goal for all our listeners, to have these English phrases just come to them when they need them.
Exactly. And the best way to do that is to keep at it. Practice every day. Listen to podcasts like this one, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Keep at it, to continue doing something even if it's difficult. That's such good advice. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint.
Speaking of marathons, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about how to start an opinion, how to soften it, how to disagree politely, and even how the internet can be a bit of a mess.
We did. It's been a really fun conversation. I think my favorite part was talking about the pineapple on pizza. I'm still right about that, by the way.
We'll have to look into that further in another episode. I might need to bring in an expert to defend the pineapple.
Bring in, to involve someone in a situation. Good luck finding an expert who likes warm pineapple on cheese, Mike.
Oh, they exist. I'll track them down eventually.
Track them down, to find someone after a long search. You're really leaning into the phrasal verbs now.
I can't help it. Once you get into the rhythm, it's hard to stop.
Get into, to become interested or involved in something. Well, I've definitely gotten into this topic today, but I think we're starting to run out of time.
Run out of, to have no more of something. Yeah, you're right. The clock is ticking. Before we wrap things up, do you have any final thoughts for our listeners on giving opinions?
I think my final thought would be, don't be afraid to speak your mind, but always do it with kindness. Your opinion is valuable, but so is the other person's feeling of being respected. If you can find that balance, you'll be a great communicator in any language.
That is spot on, Sarah. Spot on means exactly right or accurate. My final thought would be, practice giving your opinion on small things first. Practice saying what you think about a song or a meal. It builds up your confidence for the bigger stuff.
Builds up, to increase or strengthen something over time. I love that. Start small and grow.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to call it a day.
Call it a day, to stop working or doing something. I agree. This has been a blast, Mike.
It really has. Thanks for joining me, Sarah. And thanks to all of you out there listening to Nighttime Mics. We hope you learned some useful phrases today and that you feel a little more confident about sharing your thoughts with the world.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Remember to check out our other episodes if you want to keep practicing. We have so many topics to explore together.
Check out, to look at or examine something. You're finishing off strong with the phrasal verbs too, Sarah.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
You're doing a great job. All right, everyone, it's time for us to head out.
Head out to leave. See you next time.
Catch you later.
Wait, Mike, before we actually go, I just realized something.
What's that?
I never actually asked you. What's your opinion on our podcast intro music? Be honest.
Ooh, putting me on the spot again. Well, to be honest, I think it's a bit 80s, but in a cool retro way. Why? Do you turn your nose up at it?
No, I actually come around to it more every time I hear it. It's growing on me. It's got a good vibe.
Growing on me. That's when you start to like something more and more. I'm glad to hear it. I actually came up with that melody in the shower one morning.
Came up with to think of an idea. No way. You're a musician too?
I use the term musician very loosely. I just hummed into my phone and figured out how to make it sound decent on my computer.
Well, I think you did a great job. It really sets the mood for the show.
Thanks, Sarah. That means a lot. Set the mood, to create a specific atmosphere. I think we've definitely set a positive mood today.
We certainly have. But now we really do need to wrap it up. My coffee is officially cold.
Oh no, we can't have that. Let's get going so you can get a fresh cup.
Sounds like a plan.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Nighttime Mics.